Alright guys, Kershaw has really been stepping up their game in the past few years, and this is another one of their awesome new blades. This is the Kershaw Cryo, and I just got this knife today, so this is just an overview, not a review. I haven't really used it all that much, but I can already tell you, I think this is going to be one of my favorite everyday carry knives. It's a really nice design, and that's really what I see it as, is an everyday carry kind of utility blade. It does weigh in at 4.2 ounces, so it's a little stout for, you know, for like a backpacking blade or anything like that. And also the blade is 2 3/4 inches long, so a little bit small for a tactical blade. So it's really just kind of a utility blade, and I really like it. So let's get into the blade on there. It is made out of that 8CR 13 MOV steel that is used in lots and lots of knives nowadays. I like the steel, as you've probably heard me say before. You know, it's easy to sharpen, it holds the edge well enough, and the only downside is that it can rust, but they have put a titanium nitride coating on that blade, as well as the handle scales. So that should help with rust. So really, there's not a lot of downsides to this blade. It is a more affordable steel, but it performs, you know, well enough for my liking. So the blade shape on here is also a big plus. It has a nice hollow grind on there. I really like hollow grind blades. They really cut well in my experience. It also has that awesome, you know, unsharpened swedge there at the top. I really like the look that gives blades. And it's also broad enough that it should slice relatively well. And that tip on there is a nice tip because it's delicate enough to do kind of, you know, more detailed work, but it's somewhat reinforced. So, you know, it's not a you know, a little, you know, feather-like tip that's just going to break off real easily. So I really like the blade shape on there. It's kind of a medium thickness stock on there. I really like it. Your opening mechanism on here, this is a speed-safe knife, so it is assisted opening, and there's no lock on here, first of all. I really like that. Some of the other Kershaw designs, like this Kershaw Leak, they put this little lock down here at the bottom, and you know, that's nice enough. You can remove it if you want to. I found that it generally, you know, actuates when I don't want it to, and then I sit there and I try to open my knife and I can't, and I have to turn it off to get the knife open. So I'm kind of happy to see they dispensed with it here. They did make it a, you know, you have to put a solid enough force on there. I don't think it's going to open up in your pocket accidentally. So it's easy to open. You can use either that flipper like you just saw right there, or you can use a thumb stud, and they're both easy enough to get to. And so there you go. Flipper. That flipper it does kind of have some sharp edges on there, just on the edges. They should have radiused that a little more. It wouldn't be too hard to do that with just like a file or something on your own, but I do think they should just spend a little bit more time on that, but it's not going to cut you or anything. It's just a little sharp. If you did it repeatedly, I think you'd kind of wear it on your finger a little bit. But I'd probably use these thumb studs right here. They're really well designed. As you can tell, they don't really have any issues. They're easy to get to. And they do protrude from the knife just a little bit on either side, which I like. Easy to get to, and makes it easy to get that knife open. So, two options, they both work well. Your locking mechanism on here is a steel frame lock. This is an all-steel knife, and that's what adds that, you know, 4.2 ounces to it. You know, but again, for a everyday carry knife, you can probably take the weight. That's not a system where you're carrying, you know, tons and tons of stuff. So, you know, for me, I'm willing to take the weight, and it does provide a very good solid feeling knife. It really feels, it doesn't feel like you're gonna, you know, just easily break it. It is solid. It feels like you use it hard, and it would stand up. So you have that stainless steel lock bar right there, which I like. I'm not, you know, the biggest proponent of frame locks out there. You know, I don't bow down and worship the frame lock, but I like them well enough. That's how much metal you got there, you know, in that location right there. And another thing that's really nice is they did put this disc right there, and what that disc does is that prevents you from overextending the lock bar. A lot of knives that don't have a mechanism like that, if you keep pushing this lock bar out, it'll just keep going, and you could bend it, and you could, you know, damage your lock bar. So that disc right there is a really nice feature that you normally only see on higher end knives. So it's nice to see that they're incorporating a stop mechanism in this more affordable knife. So I really like that. Now this is mini Torx bit construction, so you can take it all apart if you want to clean it, and it's also flow-through construction. So it really shouldn't be that hard to just clean this out however you like. It's all stainless steel, it's all nitride coated, so you really shouldn't have too many rust issues. You can really just rinse this out if you like, and you should be good. There is some jimping up here on the top, not all that tractionable. It's really more for looks. They really could have done a better job on that jimping. But you also have this kind of finger choil there, partially created by that flipper. So I really don't feel like I'm going to come up too much on this knife at all. You know, if I did have to use this in a defensive role, you know, if this is all I have, I would, you know, feel relatively confident that I'm not going to come up on that blade. So I like that. Again, your handle scales on here are just, you know, solid stainless steel slabs, so not the lightest in the world, and it doesn't provide a ton of traction, but for a little everyday carry knife, good enough. Now you do have a lanyard hole right there at the end. I really like that. It is a lanyard pipe, and it's relatively large. You could easily get a strand of paracord or something through there without too much fuss. Your pocket clip on here is also a big win. This is a loop over style pocket clip, and that's my favorite style of pocket clip. It's very strong, it's blackened, I like that. It's also a good length. It's not overly long, and I really criticized the Kershaw Leaks pocket clip in the past. Look how much longer that Leaks clip is. It's massive. This is just unnecessary, and it's also kind of funky looking. This is just a good, handsome looking clip. It's strong, it's not overly large, it just does the job really well, and buries the knife, you know, relatively deep in the pocket. This is the tip up configuration. If you go tip down, it buries completely flush, and also they put that on all four corners of the knife. So if you're a lefty, you can mount the clip on the other side. Now, it is a frame lock, so maybe not the most left-hand friendly, but like I'm demonstrating here, you can do it with your left hand. I just did it. Just got to get used to that feel. And so it is pretty much ambidextrous, as long as you can deal with that right-handed frame lock. They did put the thumb stud on both sides, and the flipper is ambidextrous. So it's a really nice design, and you know, also the quality is there. You know, I don't really feel like it's overly cheap or anything. It feels solid and well made, and the lockup on here is rock solid in both directions. It really locks up tight, and you know, to be expected. Kershaw, I feel like, does a good job with their quality, and the look of this knife is really a lot like the Rick Hinderer knives, and that's what it's based off of. So it's really an affordable way to get a nice little carry knife that's modeled after some higher end, nicer looking knives. So I really like it. There are some good competitive options out there, and this does go around 26 bucks. I just got this off Amazon.com, free shipping, around 26 bucks to the door. So that's very affordable, and it's a really good deal. If you like the design, you like the looks of it, I'd say definitely go for it. It's well made. I really like it. Some good competition. Well, the CRKT Drifter comes to mind. This is in that same price range. Really, if I had a choice, I'd probably take this one. While the Drifter is just a little bit lighter weight than that one, this has the nitride coating on the blade, whereas this doesn't. And also, the clip on the Cryo just blows away this Drifter clip. The Drifter clip sticks out too far, so you could scratch cars and doors and stuff with it. It doesn't bury nearly as deep. It's not positionable to different points. The lanyard's not as good. I like the CRKT Drifter, but if I have to choose, I'd probably take the Cryo, as long as I can take the weight. Other competitive options, definitely maybe like the Spyderco Persistence. This is the Buck Vantage Select Small. This is in that price range. This is a good knife, lighter weight, really nice clip as well. Oh, I don't know. Maybe the Kershaw Chill. This is another good knife. Kershaw Nerve. The Spyderco Bird Meadowlark. This is the FRN. They also sell a stainless steel if you're interested in that. This is a good knife. This is a backlock, you know, depending on which, you know, the frame lock or the backlock, whatever you prefer. So there's a lot of knives in the price range, but overall this one's well worth it, and I really like it. So check out my full-length review when I get around to making that, once I get some more some more testing done on this thing. But you know, if I find anything else about it that I learned from use, I'll definitely include that in the review. But as it stands now, I really like the knife, and I'd highly recommend it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to help you guys out. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe. I appreciate that. And everyone have a nice day. Thanks for watching.